Accounting practices in the English-speaking world are more open regarding this phenomenon of money creation. In fact, they are completely open. Consider how banks in England and the United States have recorded this operation in their books since the beginning. Incidentally, these practices have become widespread and are now used throughout the world. I began by describing the other system because of its simplicity, so to speak. Let us reflect on the same example as before. Mr. X deposits his 1 million monetary units and, as you can see, cash comes into the bank. The bank records 1 million cash, demand deposits 1 million. But do you know what the bank does then? It appropriates 90% and lends it to Z, just like before. But in Anglo-Saxon accounting practices, a prior entry is made. The banker says, I will leave 1 million in cash and the demand deposit of 1 million, but now, as if by magic, I will lend 900,000 to the owner of company Z, open a demand deposit account for him for 900,000 and give him a checkbook. Instead of handing the 900,000 monetary units over to him, I will keep them. But in my assets, I will acknowledge the loan I have created from nothing, and the balancing entry in liabilities will be a checking account, a demand deposit of 900,000 units. I will give the owner of company Z a checkbook so that he can gradually use the loan as he needs it. Now take a look at the bank's balance sheet. It is perfectly straightforward. Deposits, on the right, have gone from 1 million to 1,900,000. And the balancing entries on the left reflect 1 million in cash, actually in the vault, plus 900,000 in loans. Only if the receiver of the loan begins to use the checkbook and writes checks up to the loan amount of 900,000 units to pay his suppliers, etc., will the money gradually come out of the vault, until we arrive at the very same balance sheet as before, when we discussed the continental accounting system. Once the borrower, who has received 900,000, has written several checks totaling 900,000 and has taken the money out of the bank, only 100,000 is left in cash in the bank's vault, and entries are made for 900,000 in loans and 1 million in demand deposits. But most importantly, as we have seen, the bank recognizes the creation of new money, or perfect money substitutes from nothing, in the form of fiduciary media. For before the owner of company Z, who receives the loan, even begins to use the loan funds, the total amount of deposits has gone from 1 million to 1,900,000. And this, dear students, is what banks really do. If bankers estimate that with a reserve ratio of 10%, they have enough to handle normal deposit withdrawals, and they have 1 million euros in cash, what do? They leave the money in the vault, but they grant loans for 900,000. They create deposits from nothing for 900,000, and they hand over checkbooks. And therefore, total deposits come to consist of 1 million in primary deposits, which are backed, and 900,000 in secondary deposits or fiduciary media. Thus, as the receiver of the loan writes checks, money gradually comes out of the bank's vault, until only 100,000 units remain, and deposits equal 1 million, only 100,000 units of which are backed, while the other 900,000 units have no backing.